Hello, I'm Abe Madkour with Sports Business Journal. Welcome to our Executive Insight with Genius Sports. We are coming to you from SBJ's Tech Week in New York City, and I'm joined by Sean Conroy, who is Executive Vice President of Commercial Partnerships for Genius. Sean, good to see you today.
Good to see you, Abe, and thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, Sean, a lot of conversation at our conference this week will be on AI, and I want to get your point of view on what impact AI is having on the future of sports broadcasts.
Well, this is a particularly interesting time for Genius as a business. We're a company focused on handling sports data and applying artificial intelligence to generate new experiences. And we've long awaited a time where the sports ecosystem would be affected by the increased sort of digitization that we're seeing sort of the world over. And I think as we see it today, as more and more fans and consumers are experiencing sports on digital platforms and devices, this is going to enable and unlock an era of much more immersive experiences around sports. And that is going to be unlocked by data and artificial intelligence. So we expect consumers to be able to cultivate and choose and curate their own sports experience, deciding what they want to watch, when they want to watch, how they want to watch it, whether that be through personalized bet suggestions across betting platforms, whether that be through the opportunity to choose different ways to view the game and different types of broadcast experiences. And the fuel that is going to drive those experiences is going to be data, and it's going to be artificial intelligence.
And Sean, it seems to me that we've seen so much progress in the last, I would say, 12 to 20 months. And it sounds like you're anticipating more accelerated progress so sports fans can experience all those things over the next 12 to 24 months, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I think the last 12 months have been a particularly interesting time for the broader sort of industry and for us here at Genius. One of the most sort of notable things that's happened in our world has been working very closely with Amazon, and it's very exciting for us that the likes of Amazon and other major streaming providers are beginning to invest in sports rights and beginning to bring their technological expertise and innovation and creativity to sports broadcasting. And one of the projects that we've been most excited about over the last 12 months is partnering with Amazon on their production of Thursday Night Football,
right,
where they have created an alternate feed, the BetVision feed, which utilizes data and artificial intelligence to create a version of the game that is much more focused on the fans that seek more data and statistics and insights. And so the marrying up of official NFL next-gen stats feed with our machine learning capabilities and our content creation capabilities has been part of a solution that has now given fans the opportunity to see really interesting features, such as when you're watching an NFL game, an automated alert and identification of a player who's created separation from a defender, and therefore giving fans that sort of almost a quarterback's view from their sofa at home, or players that have using data and using machine learning to identify a player in the defensive lineup or making a move to make a defensive play, highlighting, alerting those players, and again, giving those fans that ability to watch the game from the perspective of those on the field, and machine learning and data and AI is the tool that is unlocking those experiences.
Sean, it may sound simplistic, but we always hear about making these experiences better for the sports viewer, better for the sports fan. You hit it on that at the top of the interview, but what you just mentioned, and I've experienced it on Thursday Night Football, like that is such a benefit to the broadcasters, but also at the end of the day, the viewers, and it makes it more engaging. It makes them want to watch longer. So, I mean, that is a perfect example of what everybody's trying to do.
Yeah, it is. And I think the trend we see continuing here is an increased effort to deliver a much more personalized and relevant experience for each fan. So I think we believe, gone are the days, and again now since the digitization and the ability based on the platforms where fans are watching to create a much more one-to-one type of experience, which will deliver the ability to better keep fans' attention, keep relevance, and ultimately drive interactivity. And all of these things will not just enhance the fan experience and fan engagement, but they will really support, some of the broadcasters and the streaming business.
Exactly.
They look to further cultivate attention and therefore drive better monetization through deeper and more relevant advertising integrations and sponsor integrations. And so I think some of the things we've seen over the last 12 months are really just the beginning of a journey, we think, to one-to-one personalization of sports content.
Oh, there's a long tail to this in terms of people who benefit. And, you mentioned, Sean, as Amazon, you mentioned NFL. Who else are you working with? What other programs, or I would say, manifestations are you excited about?
Yeah, so we continue. So Genius has a long-term partnership with the NFL, where we work with NFL data to create different fan experiences across lots of different platforms across the sports ecosystem. One of the big initiatives that we launched in the last NFL season was a solution called BetVision, which is an integrated streaming and betting experience that we provide to sportsbook operators in the US and worldwide. And again, what we're trying to do there is use data and AI to create, again, a much more personalized and relevant experience and help sportsbooks drive more betting and drive more engagement through things like personalized bet suggestions, relevant data and content updates to drive the narrative of the game and provide information. Very simple things like, highlighting players on the field with the names above their head and their stats for that game to, again, inform what's going on and help you take a determination as to what may happen in the future. So we continue to work very closely with the NFL and the NFL's various partners. We're also working very closely with European football, or soccer as we call it here, working very closely with the Premier League and the Premier League productions to create an alternate feed of all of the Premier League games that are called Data Zone, which is, again, sort of similar principle of using data, analytics, analysis, and statistics to inform the viewing experience and provide a different way for fans to view the game.
I love that we've made such, I would say, innovative progress over the last few years. All the things you've touched on weren't even in the sports ecosystem 2016 and 17. So now, Sean, as we look ahead, if you and I are having this conversation in 24 months, how do you see the sector continuing to evolve? What would be the manifestations you could be very excited about? You touched on some of them, but just to recap.
Yeah, I expect to see continued alternate casts, alternate experiences, and different choices for fans, whether that be kids-focused programming. We work closely with Nickelodeon in recent years around providing sort of kids version of NFL programming. One of the other things that we are pretty excited about as a business and been in discussions with a lot of our partners around is the opportunity with the capture of 3D data. So we are today producing from a variety of different leagues and federations around the world through AI and optical tracking systems, billions and billions of data points in real time from live games that can then be rendered into 3D recreations in real time. I think how we will begin to see this applied across sport programming, I think, is really interesting. You can think about, for example, the use of 3D recreations in first replay. full live alternate streams that would allow you as a fan to get into that experience, walk around the field, literally, choose how you want to see the game, the quarterback view, the defensive lineman view, the striker's view. And again, a very, very sort of immersive experience. And I think that we will continue to see people beginning to explore what that looks like across a broadcast experience. And we're really excited around, things like Apple are doing with their Vision Pro headset and what that means for some of these sort of AR and VR experiences. So I think that's certainly one to watch for the next 12 to 24 months.
Pretty dynamic space, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun, and that's going to be the topic here at SBJ Tech Week. All the things you talked about, technology-driven, but like you said, personalized experience, very immersive. So Sean Conroy, Executive Vice President of Commercial Partnerships for Genius Sports, thanks for joining us on this SBJ Executive Insight.
Thank you very much for having me.